All right. Hello, this is Megan with Hip Stitch Academy, and I'm so excited to talk with Yolanda from Houston in Houston, Texas today, and we're going to ask her some questions about her awesome business. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi there. Thank you for having me on. I'm Yolanda from Houston. I've been in business for about, summer will be 4 years. I've had my studio, so it's nice to be invited to be interviewed.
Okay, awesome. All right, so you're in Houston. Are you right in Houston or yeah?
Well, Houston's huge, and I'm in the kind of upper right-hand corner of it.
Okay.
Well, the north, not the right, the northwest side of Houston.
Okay, awesome. Is it kind of like a neighborhood? Are you like considered like in the suburbs of Houston a little bit? Okay.
I would say I'm in a neighborhood. I would say I'm in the suburbs. I'm not inside the city. I mean, I'm in Houston city limits.
Right.
Definitely, I would say a suburb.
Okay, cool. And you said you've been in operation for about 4 years and you have a physical location, a studio, right? Okay, awesome. And what made you decide to start your sewing business 4 years ago?
Well, I was a teacher. I taught middle school for 10 years, and I was ready for a change, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to start a business and leave teaching, but I wasn't sure what. But I also know I am a teacher. So one day we were cleaning up the campus that I worked at, and there were some sewing machines no one was using anymore. And I asked the principal if I could start teaching after school classes. And they started to get more popular. It was going great. And that's when I knew this is my business. I need to open up a sewing school. Because Houston didn't have one. We'd had one about a year before I opened. They were out of business. And Houston didn't really have anything fun, modern. It was pretty much Joann's, you know.
Yeah.
Or there are two schools in town, but there was nothing really like me. No one that does birthday parties or private lessons. So I saw a market opening and I knew I could teach and went for it.
Cool. And did you see, like, when you started, since you kind of knew there was a market and you didn't have really a lot of competition, did your business like take off immediately?
I think it did, yes. I just did my taxes, looking at my books. Every quarter has been better than the last. Every year has been better than the one before. So I'd say it was steady growth. Being a teacher, I opened my shop in June, and I was still getting paid that whole summer, so that was really nice.
Yeah.
So I would say I started to get busy probably around the fall. You know, once craft shows start, people are ready for, classes, and people are ready to get crafty. So I'd say my business really started to take off in about October.
Okay.
And then Christmas was good.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. And you started the location from the get-go. It was a studio from the get-go. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. And what ignited your spark for like sewing? When did you learn to sew? When did you,
So I've sewn since I was little. My grandmother taught me, and her way of teaching was just put you in a sewing machine, give you some fabric, and see what happens.
Yeah.
So I still kind of do that at summer camp. We have a project of the day, and then there's always time just to go for it, because I feel like that's really how you learn.
Yeah.
So that's how I learned, out of kind of necessity. If I needed my pants hemmed, or if I needed something to wear, I would sew it. So I started just at my grandmother's machine, just trying things.
Cool. Awesome. And you've always sewn since then, or kind of got back into it? Yeah.
When I was a teacher, we would be on Christmas break or summer break. I'd sew different projects, make people Christmas presents. And I'd always think, how can I do this for a living? I just didn't think there was any way until the after school program started. It all fell into place.
Awesome. Okay. Let's see. I wanted to ask you, when you decided to have the location and open up your studio, how did you decide? Is it near your home? Do you feel like you kind of looked at where it might work out the best? Was it close to your school? What was...
Finding a place was the hardest part. I almost gave up. I had this great idea. We had this whole plan. I just could not find a place. Places in Houston can be super expensive, $5,000, $6,000 a month, and then you usually have to build out too. So a lot of places we looked at, this would be $50,000 to put in air conditioning, bathroom. There was no way. I was just like, how can a small business owner open,
Yeah.
And realtors in Houston, corporate realtors, they really don't care. They're not like home realtors where they really try. Yeah. Corporate realtors are like, good luck. So it was really hard. I talked to one day, and he basically said, there's nothing in your price range. And I did not want a shop that was more than a mortgage. And so I was depressed, and in my strip center, there's a cupcake place, and it was right on my way home. So I stopped right on my way home to get a cupcake, and I just happened to ask her, how did you find this spot? And she said, well, actually, there's a spot a couple of doors down. The lady's moved out and she hasn't told the landlord yet.
Oh.
And she's like, why don't you call him and arrange to see the place as soon as possible? And that's what I did. And as soon as I walked in, I knew it was perfect for me. It'd been a photo studio. And one of the things I needed in a shop was electricity drops. I need to be able to plug in the machines. This one already had everything ready to go. It had all the electricity I needed. It was just perfect. And it was in my price range, and it just happened.
Wow.
I mean, I really was about before I found this place.
That's great. And so it's a storefront. So you do have like storefront view.
Yes. Okay. I'm in a little strip center.
Oh, okay. Awesome. All right. Let's see. As far as being an entrepreneur, is that something you always kind of knew you wanted to do? Or?
No, I never imagined it. I never would have thought I would own a business.
Yeah.
It just really all kind of happened really quickly.
And so, what are some of the skills that you feel like somebody might need to be an entrepreneur, or that you found that you need?
One thing for me is I knew how to teach. I knew the core of my business because I've had a lot of teaching experience. So I knew I could do that no matter what. I knew how to run a classroom. So that I feel like you have to know your area that you're going into. Yeah. And what other traits? It helps to be organized. It helps to be nice, be a friendly person, you know, because they say repeat business is the bread and butter of any business. Yeah. And to get that, you have to be nice and personable, and, you know, you have to be happy doing it.
Yeah, totally. All right. So let's see what else. So I guess what, you know, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like getting up and kind of running your business, you've got to look for inspiration, and you've got to look for things to motivate you to kind of keep going. Maybe if, you know, things aren't going great, what do you find inspires you and motivates you to kind of keep going? And
Pinterest. I mean, not Pinterest, Instagram. I follow a lot of different schools on Instagram. That helps. And Pinterest is a good source of inspiration. It is hard not having other fellow employees sometimes, but I have some good clients, some good moms who give me, you know, some project ideas. Sometimes it's hard coming up with all that myself. So some of my most popular classes are my clients recommended. Yeah. So that helps a lot. But sometimes it's hard not having anyone to bounce ideas. So I try to network, you know, have a few people. It's nice that the quilt market is in Houston because I make kind of friends that way. So I have a few friends like Jessie of Sew Dayton was one of my first sew friends. So she was someone I could email or call or bounce an idea with. So that was nice.
Yeah, totally.
And this is great that you're inviting me here to make more sewing friends and, you know, get to have more people to network with and talk to.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a selfish endeavor, really. I mean, I just wanted to meet other people.
I'm so glad.
Doing the same thing. So yeah.
We're all little islands out there.
We are. We totally are. You know, and it's funny, I just remembered the other day when we were on that call, Caitlin in Frisco was saying, I think you had gone off because the sound wasn't right or something. And then you'd gone off and Caitlin goes, is that Yolanda from Houston? And I was like, yeah. She goes, oh my gosh, one of my teachers has like a sewing crush on her. Like,
oh, really?
Business.
Oh, nice. So, I love that.
Funny because, you know, there aren't that many of us.
Yeah.
And if you've got an Instagram account where you're following different sewing schools around, like, you're going to find out. I mean, that's how I first found out about you, is definitely from Instagram.
Exactly. So, yeah. I made a lot of sewing friends through Instagram.
Yeah. Awesome. That's so great. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about marketing. What do you find has been the best marketing for your business?
Word of mouth. I don't do any paid advertising. I don't believe in paying it. If I'm going to pay someone $500, I'd rather spend $500 on fabric, you know? So, word of mouth, Facebook, Instagram. I get a lot of business from Facebook, and I will sometimes take out a Facebook ad. It's $5. It's worth it, you know? I feel like it's easier than ever to get a business off the ground because of social media. You don't have to pay anybody.
Right.
You know, and a lot is repeat business. And I go to homeschool open houses and set up a little booth and let all the homeschoolers know about me. And whenever there's an event, a local event, like tomorrow night, there's a school that has a charity, I'm always donating classes to that. Okay. So I put my name out in the community through, what is it called? A donation. I give a class here and there, and I go to those open houses. Yeah.
And you feel like they're effective.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
love my homeschool classes. They're sweet, they're nice, they're during the day, and I wouldn't have a good homeschool business if I wasn't at those open houses in the fall, passing out my flyers and introducing myself.
Yeah, it's great that they actually have that kind of event. I definitely need to find out if
Yeah.
find
I live in kind of the homeschool mecca of Houston. There are a lot of homeschools.
really.
Mhm. And there's a huge open house, thousands of people come.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Mhm.
awesome. Because it
Mhm.
is, as a sewing instructor, especially if you're teaching kids classes, even adult classes, it's like people aren't coming during the day. You've got
Yeah,
Monday through
exactly.
Friday until 3 o'clock when
Yeah,
it's like, okay, you could be doing whatever, doing other things in your business, but you can't get a lot of classes going.
exactly.
But if you can get the homeschool, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's more like a normal school day for me,
yeah,
what I'm used to,
totally.
teaching during the day.
Yeah, exactly.
I love my after school girls too. Sometimes I don't love doing private lessons after work. I found that sometimes when people come in the evenings, they're so tired and they fought traffic, and I just don't think it's the best time to learn.
Yeah,
So that's kind of not the ideal time for a class.
yeah,
I prefer more weekends with adults,
yeah,
but some adults can come during the day too.
yeah,
But I just think, at 6:30 when you're starving and, you've been sitting in traffic for an hour, it's just not the best time to learn how to
yeah,
sew.
yeah, totally. But you don't do group classes for adults at night, or you do?
Rarely because of that
Yeah,
whole tired traffic
yeah,
thing. I mostly do group classes for adults on Saturdays and Sundays.
yeah. Okay.
Usually Saturday mornings, I always have a class.
Oh, yeah, that's if I could have like 4 Saturday mornings a week,
Yeah.
golden. It's the time everybody wants to take a
Yeah.
All right. So, what are some sacrifices that you've had to make to become an entrepreneur?
Well, obviously my paycheck is not what it used to be, but that kind of works out in other ways. But I guess that's one of the main things some of my friends have started businesses since, and the main adjustment is the money, the lack of that regular paycheck. When I stopped getting a paycheck, it was like culture shock. Like, what? So that has been a sacrifice, but it's worked itself out. In the beginning, it's definitely more of a sacrifice. Um, and then I guess Saturdays. I don't have Saturdays off anymore, really. I try to take one a month, but it doesn't always work out.
Yeah.
I say that's the biggest sacrifice is my husband sometimes, if I've worked all week at night and then Saturday comes, he's like, don't you have this weekend off? And, I guess that's the biggest sacrifice.
Yeah, totally. I feel that. Yes. After a
Yeah.
while, I finally was like, I'm hiring someone to work Saturdays.
Yeah,
We're gonna have
that's nice.
a whole
That would be nice.
So,
I
yeah.
haven't gotten to that point yet.
Well, yeah.
I just haven't found someone who really wants to do it or someone who I really want to do it yet. I'm still waiting for that great
It's
team.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, do you have employees?
No.
Nope.
I have a couple of people. If I have a big party, I have a couple of people I can call who come help with that, and they're great. But I don't have enough of a job to hire someone and pay them regularly.
Right.
I feel like I can do all that myself pretty much.
Uh-huh.
But so I don't have employees yet, but it would be great to have some. I love having a guest teacher every now and then.
Yeah.
Like I had a perfume workshop here one time that wasn't really sewing, but it was still creative.
Uh-huh.
And I've had a guest teacher come in and do a knitting class. So I like that. That's a nice setup for me.
Okay, good.
But yeah, I don't have an employee or a regular instructor.
Okay. Let's see. What would you say is your favorite part about working for yourself?
Well, I love not having a boss. That part is great. I love being creative. I like it days when I can just come in and just have the studio to myself, like an artiste, and just come in and it's just my space to do whatever I want. That's great.
So,
And when I was a teacher and worked across town, if it would start raining, you never know if Houston's going to flood. And so I would always be so stressed out. Can we leave? Can we leave? It's nice to be able just to make that call and do what you need to do,
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I like the freedom for sure.
Do you sew at all at home?
Rarely. It's just so much easier here. I'm set up. I have tables, light,
Yeah,
I
totally.
try, but there's always something when I'm at home. There's always something at the shop that I need.
Yeah, totally. Okay.
So if I do sew at home, I'll usually try to do all my cutting and prep here and then just sewing at home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like, yep, that's what I do. Yep.
Yeah.
It's funny. Okay. Let's see. I think that's good. I think you've touched on so much, and it's so great to hear more about your business because I didn't know a ton about it. So thank you so much
Thank you.
for chatting, and I will talk to you soon.
Okay, great. Where can I watch this? You post them on YouTube?
I am posting them on YouTube, but they'll also just be on the Hip Stitch Academy website. Yeah.
I can see other interviews.
Yeah, I think I've added a new section called interviews or something.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
I'll see you at the next call, and I'll definitely see you in October.
Awesome.
You going to be at the quilt market?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Bye. Bye.